So today I want to talk to you guys about some of the teen shows that are on TV. So like I've said in my other video when I talked about my summer 2021 favorites, is that I love watching TV. TV watching is like one of my favorite pastimes. Like COVID was so easy for me because not COVID in general. I think that was a very hard time on everyone, but the entire pandemic of just being able to stay home was amazing for me. I don't go out. I don't like to do very many things. I just like to sit at home with my dog on the couch with a good blanket, lights dim, with a good snack and watch TV shows, watch movies. Like that is the perfect night for me. So, I'll enjoy the simple pleasures of life. So I have been getting into a lot of shows lately, and I've made the transition maybe about 3 years ago. I have to say that I watched Disney Channel a little bit longer than most people did. I did. I like the content. I've loved Disney Channel since I was a little kid, and then you start to watch shows and they continue to go on, and then you like an actor or you like a movie or something, and you've watched a movie and they continue to make them so you want to see the sequels. But I've kind of stepped back and I started watching different things. I've branched out to watching more stuff on regular cable shows. I still have cable. So I watch just about everything that's on it because I said, if you're going to pay for cable, then best believe that I'm going to get my money's worth and I'm going to watch everything that I can. That's what DVR is for, so you can record it. So I've been watching a lot of shows that have a teen demographic. I don't think that teens are supposed to be watching these shows, but there's this culture right now that is, we're going to make a show about high school. And when you make a show about high school, in my head, I'm thinking, well, if the show's about high school and I'm high school aged, I'm not right now. I'm, way past high school age. I'm 26. But what I'm saying is that when I was in high school, I watched shows like Glee or Pretty Little Liars or other shows that were like high school scenarios. I watched these shows, or Friday Night Lights, I watched these shows and it was about things that were going on in high school, and I was in high school, so I watched them. And I noticed, obviously things are fiction, but I noticed that we've transitioned to having shows about high school with completely adult content. I have been trying to watch the show Generation on HBO. I saw that Justice Smith was in it, and he's been in a lot of things, and I like him as an actor. I loved him on The Get Down. Till this day, I'm still upset that they canceled The Get Down. And he was in it. He was playing a very flamboyant gay man, and I know he just came out as queer maybe about a year ago. So I was like, oh, okay. So I wanted to watch it. It is on HBO. Now I know that HBO is not meant for family content. I understand that there's nudity, there's all types of stuff, but this phenomenon that I have seen with people in Hollywood making TV shows about kids in high school that kids in high school should not be watching. In fact, I think it makes anyone uncomfortable with the type of content that they are putting in. And I especially saw this with Euphoria. Euphoria came out, I believe, in 2019. Euphoria was one, I watched the entire show because, Zendaya was in it. I've watched Zendaya on Disney Channel. I've watched a lot of her work, and I'm very much about uplifting and making sure I'm watching the content that Black women are putting out. Because I want to make sure that we're still getting leading roles and we're watching it. So I watched it. And it's one of those shows that you started watching, so you kind of have to finish it. So I watched Euphoria, and I will never forget in the first episode, the graphic sex scenes that they put in that show. I was like, now, I didn't know what the show was really about. I just knew Zendaya was in it, had some kids. I know what the show was going to be about, but I was like, okay. The second episode of Euphoria is the one that really got me. When there's an episode with Nate, it's Nate's episode, and he's in the locker room, and it's literally just naked men with private genitals literally everywhere. Here, 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 zoom in here, 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 here. I didn't want to see that. Now, there is a conversation to be said about how it normalizes male nudity in media, whereas women tend to be more objectified in television and film. You'll see more nude women, and then in film, they won't even use men's real bodies, like it'll be prosthetics, and then they'll have something like, for in Gossip Girl, not Gossip Girl, excuse me, Gossip Girl never did this. Now the new Gossip Girl that's gonna be on HBO, God knows what they're gonna have. Gone Girl, the one with Ben Affleck, I remember there's this big hoopla like, oh, it's like it has male frontal nudity in it, and I'm not a fan of Ben Affleck, and I could care less, but I remember when it, like, the scene happened in the movie and it was like and I'm doing that as in, like, it was so fast. Like, I didn't even see anything. I was like, that's what we were talking about this whole time? That shadow? Come on. Come on. And it's so brave. Oh my God, he's so brave. Sebastian Stan said, oh, he's so brave. Please, women, and it's almost like women have to do this in order to be good actors. Hey, are you able to get an Academy Award as a woman if you haven't shown your breasts across the screen, of the big screen? Can you? Because I have a question. Because, I've always wanted to be an actress, and I would say to people, if I want to be an actress, I'm never going to do nudity. And people are like, well, how are you going to be an actress? With my clothes on? Like people did for hundreds of years? What do you mean? It adds nothing to the film. It adds nothing. In fact, it takes away from a demographic of people who could probably be able to watch the movie because it has such raunchiness to it. And it adds nothing. It adds nothing. But I digress. So Euphoria is a show that has so much, if you, and I say this with no judgment, but with so much empathy in my heart, if your high school experience was that of a person as a character in Euphoria, you need to seek counseling immediately if you have not already. You need to seek therapy. You need to seek help because that is not normal. That is not normal. There is no reason for minors, underage children, anywhere in this world to have to deal with the horrendous nature that they have put on screen and moonlighted as something that is normal. If that did not happen to you in high school, you are normal because that should not be happening. And I'm not talking, things happen, people, things happen with family members, stuff happens that are beyond your control. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that the situations that these kids in these shows put themselves in, the things, the actions, the activities that they were taking part in, I don't know anybody who was doing any of that stuff in high school. I don't know anyone. I don't know what's going on with Gen Z and Gen Alpha, whatever they're doing in schools. I don't know what's going on, but we were not doing that in high school. At least my friend group wasn't. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. I know that people have sex in high school and things happen. There were things where people's nudes got leaked. Stuff like that happens. That's not, we live in a digital age. We're still people. That has been happening for years. But the extreme nature of the content of these shows is not for high school students. And I would even go along to say that maybe college, because some people had some wild college experiences. I did not. Like I said, I like to partake in, in life's more gentler activities, like watching TV, going on a walk with my dog. I don't like people like that. So I don't go out and do that stuff. That's not for me. And that's not to say that the people who go out and stuff are bad. I'm just saying that, it's taking it a step above, and I understand that it's fiction, but Sam Levinson said that he wrote this off his life. I'm like, what the heck are y'all doing over there in Israel? What the heck? Is that normal? And I'll say the same thing about Skins. I watched Skins when I was in high school, and I've noticed that the media in other countries is way more liberal than it is in America. Because what is on HBO, that's mature audiences, parental locks, stuff that adults watch, is what regular people watch on TV in Britain and in other countries. I remember when Skins came out and the nudity that was on Skins. I watched Skins before. I don't know if it was on Netflix at this time, but I watched Skins when I was a sophomore in high school. I watched it on YouTube. Someone would post all the videos on YouTube. And I remember seeing that and being like, this is a regular show. It came on E4 or something, which is a normal cable channel, I'm guessing, over there. And I've talked to people from Britain who talk about the fact that that type of stuff just comes on regular TV. What? You're showing that on regular TV? Like, that'd be like, here, oh, switch from nightly business report. Oh, here we go, penises everywhere. Like, what the heck is this? Like, what on earth is going on? And I would, and I guess the people could say, well, if you normalize it, then it's not so taboo. But I mean, like, they were talking about like teen pregnancy in Britain is like off the charts. So I'm like, well, it's not helping. And it's not educating either because it's so outlandish. I watched all of Euphoria, and like I said, I think maybe it would have been a better setting maybe for college. Maybe it would have been more realistic. But high school, the stuff that they're talking about people are doing in high school, is just, and it's a little bit, I hate to say it, it's a little bit perverted. It truly is. Because you're gonna sit here and make a show about people sleeping with each other, doing drugs, graphic nudity, all this other stuff, almost like a fantasy thing, and it really is just, why are you putting this on minors? Because the thing is like, if you're watching this, it's literally supposed to be 15, 16-year-old kids nude doing these things, because that's the roles that they're playing. So does no one else find an issue in that? So I watched, I only got through, I think I got through I don't know how many seasons the Generation has. My TV kept skipping, but I watched a few episodes and it was worse than Euphoria. I watched it because I want to know what happened. Spoiler, I kept seeing it on TikTok, and it was like this girl's like giving birth in the bathroom and she didn't even know that she was pregnant in the mall. And I was like, and it just, the photos that they were sending around, the actions that these kids were doing, the things that were, I was like there were some scenes in that show that were so uncomfortable. Like I wanted to watch it because I wanted to make a video reviewing it like in depth, but I haven't finished it. And I think it's going to take a while to finish it because it's a lot. And if that's saying that is what the generation now is going through, parents need to do better. Teachers, counselors, people. I don't know. At this point, do we need to just start putting kids in therapy starting when they go to preschool? Just a weekly thing to make sure that they're okay? Because it's not okay. I know that I was quite boring in high school. But I had friends who went out and did things, and I don't know anybody that was doing these things. And I don't know why we've allowed our society to put these type of adult activities and intentions on minors. Like I said, I don't see enough shows about college. That would make more sense, finding yourself experimenting, doing things in college. That makes sense. You're out of the house with your parents, you know. I know people who did those things. But while you're in high school, it's just, what is the obsession with high school age kids and sex with the media? What is it? What is it? Is it a fascination that they're still a minor but still almost an adult? Like, what is it? Because I need someone to tell me. It is so gross. Look, it's gross. And this is not me being a prude or saying anything. It's gross. I want more content, wholesome content. And that's not saying, oh, you can't talk about, people, we can't talk about people and engaging in activities that are seen as adult. Because like I said, things happen. I watched Glee throughout high school, and there were like adult situations, and obviously some of it was handled kind of weirdly, and it was for comedic relief, but it was still something that came on basic cable, and that you could watch as a family. And like some stuff would be like a little bit like adult joke, but like it was still like and then it got more adult, as it moved to a later time slot, like 9 p.m. instead of 8. And it was when they went to college that you had those conversations, because in my head that makes sense. But some of the stuff I see on TV now, I'm just like, if I ever have children, are they allowed to watch TV? Because you can't even, there are not really a lot of shows you could sit down and watch as a family, that a family could enjoy. You couldn't watch a show with your favorite actors, you know, these, not teen, but like people who are like you've grown up with, because once they get to a certain age, they start making content that is just so, and I'm 26. So like if I watch these shows, I can. You know, there are shows that come on like P Valley and like all these other things. They're like, those aren't high school aged people. But when you have a show that's about, oh my God, little Susie starting freshman year, and now, you know, she's, you know, doing the actions of a prostitute just for fun. And that's the thing too. It would be one thing if they had shows that talked about women, you know, being sex trafficked, or, you know, things that could happen that were like bad situations that, you know, these things do happen. We're trying to raise awareness. No, it's like, oh yeah, I'm 14 and I'm going to make an OnlyFans and I'm going to go in with my 28-year-old boyfriend and do this, or, you know, I'm going to go on this dating app like in Euphoria and I'm a minor and go do and sleep with my friend's dad, you know, and he likes to sleep with underage people. And you're like, what? What? Why are we doing that? Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Did we think that was a sound idea? And then the friends see them doing it, and they're just like, yeah, girl, go ahead, get that bag, sleep with that 40-year-old man. What? We glorify too much, and we have to stop. For the betterment of society and for the mental health and the mental state of the children that are growing up right now, we have to do better with the content that we're putting out and that we're moonlighting as teen shows. Because Euphoria is not a teen show. It's a show about teens, but it's not a teen show. Generation is a teen show. It's not a teen show. It's about teenagers, but it's an adult show. And then it goes to show that how many shows are like this? How many people are actually teenagers watching this show? And how many of it is older men and women with some type of sickness that are watching these shows and think that this is okay? Who is greenlighting this? Who is saying, you know, at the board table, you know, who is saying, you know what, guys, I think I want to do a show about a bunch of 15-year-olds who just go around and have sex with everybody, and it has lots of nudity and drinking and drugs, and, you know, it's going to be real gritty, and like that's going to be the show. I'm thinking first scene is just a bunch of people with their genitals out. Yeah, that's going to be the scene. Set it up. And everyone was like, good job, good job, yeah, that's a great job, yeah, that sounds like a great idea. Like, what the heck? Who is in doing the storyboarding? Who is the person in charge of acquisition? Who are these people writing? Because like I said, Euphoria, the cinematography was really good. I liked the storyline. I thought it was something that was interesting, and it was mostly interesting because I didn't have that experience in high school. But watching it back again, I was like, wow, this is crazy. And then watching this Generation show, which in my mind is leagues, just, it doesn't have the pretty colors and everything. Maybe people will look past Euphoria because you know the actors and stuff aren't minors, but it's just too much. And then you watch Generation and you're like each episode I was like, oh my goodness, what the heck? Like, oh, fast forward, like I'm uncomfortable. That's how I felt. And I'm an adult. And props to the people who can act in these shows, because I couldn't do it. I couldn't. It says something that there were people who signed on to do Euphoria and left because of the graphic scenes that they had to take part in. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I'd take one look at that script and I'd be like, hard pass. No. Yeah, it may become big. Yeah, it may make me a star, but I can't do it. Yeah. I'm going to try to finish Generation. I'm going to try. But I don't know. It just takes a lot out of you. You got to watch that, and then you got to go watch like a sermon to like get that out of your head, because you're just like, what is this? What is this show? Why are we taking part in that? You know, a great show that was a teen show that I enjoyed, that I thoroughly enjoyed, was they just canceled it, Grand Army on Netflix. That show was amazing. It was a teen show. It talked about situations that people that happen, you know. I felt like normal situations. It was a diverse cast. I think the actors did a fantastic job with their roles. It was an amazing show, and they canceled it. So I don't know. Maybe they don't want age appropriate things out there. I don't know. I don't know. It, like I said, it was a diverse cast. I feel like it highlighted New York in a way that isn't usually shown. You know, they have a show about New York with like a bunch of white people, you know, and like they never come in contact with a person of color, and the show's on for like 10 seasons, talking about Friends. And, you know, you'll be like, this isn't really New York, you know. It talks about poverty. It talks about, you know, kids finding themselves, you know, talking about, you know, understanding, you know, your sexuality. I felt like it was so well written. You know, it talked about harassment. It talked about going through traumatic instances and how you get through it. The criminal justice system of what happens when you report certain things happening to you. It was so well written and so well done, so well acted, and they canceled it. So I don't know. You know, I just started watching Elite, which is supposed to be like a teen show as well. But I've heard that also has some graphic stuff in it. I haven't gotten to it. I've watched half of an episode because I started in English, and I can't watch shows that have been dubbed. It ruins me when like it's talking and then the mouths are like not matching because it's in another language. So I just decided that I'm gonna have to listen to it in Spanish and read the subtitles. But I have to keep pausing because like they'll talk fast and I didn't get to read what happened. So it's taking me a while to watch that show. But we'll see if that is as bad as people say it is. Even though I think it is, I don't know. I've seen some stuff on TikTok and I'm just like, what is this? Like I said, I loved Gossip Girl when I was in middle school and up. And it's on HBO, so God knows what they're going to put on there. And it may be raunchier because, you know, they have the freedom of HBO. I don't know. I watched that. I have to say, I do watch Riverdale. Riverdale is supposed to be like a high school show, yes. There are some scenes in it, but there's no nudity, obviously, because it's on regular cable. But they have done a time jump, so, like, we'll see. You know, I watched, like, Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. Some people don't like it for religious reasons, but I think the show was done like pretty well in the sense of like there wasn't anything graphic about it. So I like that. So like I said, we'll see. I just want to see if you're going to do shows about teens, then I want realistic. And I'm not talking about this outlandish, because obviously this stuff is real for some people. They're drawing inspiration from somewhere, you know, and obviously people are relating to it. But I don't want these drastic extremes of what high school is to be considered the norm, because now we're going into a generation of kids who are thinking that this is what they should expect from their high school experiences, thinking something is wrong with them because they're not having those experiences, and that is not the case. This is the extreme. This is the outliers. Most people do not have these types of experiences in high school. It's crazy because when I was growing up, people's unrealistic expectation of high school was High School Musical. And now it's this. So we'll see. Yeah, so that is that. Like I said, I'm going to try to finish watching the show. And when I do, I'll come back and do a full review on it of the themes and the characters and everything. But as I was watching it, like this came in my head and I was like, this is something that needs to be said and talked about. So yeah, that is my video for today. If you haven't, please go watch my most recent movie review Monday, where I talked about In the Heights and the controversy about colorism that has gone on with that. I also just put up my summer 21 favorite TV shows. So if you want to go watch that and get some inspiration about some shows that you should be binging and that you should also be looking forward to set your DVRs if you haven't. And also my brand new video, a recap and kind of like a sequel to the video that I did a few months ago, talking about Britney Spears and her testimony and her conservatorship trial. I've been putting out lots of new content, trying to post more regularly on here. So again, like I said, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.